Contemplating a home setup, this Marcy Diamond Elite seems to tick all the boxes, but today I'll be giving you a detailed review to ensure that it's the right machine for you. As somebody that's used a lot of like Lower and Smith machines, I'm actually quite impressed with that. The bar was consistent. It's got a bearing system. It's not just bushings enclosed in this housing. Ball bearings. So when it glides very smooth. It's not counterbalanced, so there's still going to be a bit of weight to it, but I don't mind that. The main thing is that it's smooth, and it's always going to be cheaper than a commercial one. The one thing that did annoy me a little, the way it pops out and the hooking mechanism. I can see how if someone who's really tired in the beginning, they're going to be like panicking when it's like that. Like, yes, you can hook it in like that, but it does take a little bit to getting used to. And also, if you film both hooks right, if one hook's in, like that one, but the other hook, like if, you know, my left is way stronger than my right, it's not going to go in. So it needs to be consistent. It is a cheaper bit of equipment. It's not designed for super heavy lifting, but you also need to be cautious. Common sense prevails. Right, one of the most annoying, actually not one of, the most annoying thing about this machine is these fucking carabiners. They've saved like 50 cents, but they're giving you the world's most annoying carabiner, which you have to twist. So in terms of quality, I was just bragging about how good the Smith machine is. That gets points taken off. Very disappointing. I'm going to be doing a cable flow on this Marcy machine. The guy that first told me how to do these, he told me to always do them from high, elbows up, flex on the way down. Shout out JD, thank you for teaching me this exercise. I still use it on every second chest workout. So it's a little inconsistent. Not like the smooth cable with a weight stack at the gym, but it's not the roughest cables I've ever used. Oh, one thing I really liked about that was the weight was consistent. Quite often with these cable machines, down is harder. On the way down, it sort of drops off a bit. And that's just in reverse to what it should be for ultimate hypertrophy. So this one is pretty much 1-to-1 both ways. So yeah, it felt really good. I might even do another set. So for the pec deck, I'm going to use these two bevel blocks. I don't particularly like the range for this exercise. I like this one to stretch me out a little more. So I'm going to plant them both here. Elbows pressed against them. Oh, that's a lot better. I can feel it already. And when I'm coming back, it's just going to stretch me out a lot more. I'm not going to be able to do more weight, but I'm going to get a lot more stimulation through the pecs. I can hold it like this. I can hold it out, a bit like I'm doing a fly, and just be pushed back a little. Okay, so now you've got to get rid of these. Again, that carabiner, big issue. Buy some new ones. Then you will get this. Now this is unique. This lat pull down bar, 2 holes. That hole is if you just want to put it to a regular attachment with a cable. This one, because of the design of it, it goes in 1. Oh. Try not to whack myself in the head. 2. Yeah, like that. Now, when I do a pull down, perform it like that. And go to one side. The other side, honestly, it feels different. It's a double cable. Often I have used single cables, as I'm sure many of us has. But when a gym does have like a dual pulley like this, even single handles, I use that. I reckon it's a great way to do lat pull downs. I actually like this better than the single handle. I know if I had this machine, I'd be doing this. A couple of different grips you can try. While this is on, you can superset various movements such as like push downs, or you know, you can even do pullovers. If I get rid of the bench, pullovers probably best with a chain, but you get the idea. You can do that if you want to superset quickly, and you can have a choice of either a tricep rope or this revolving handle. As you can see, the middle part revolves. So I'm going to attach this to the carabiner with these fancy Rolls-Royce carabiners again. And that's how I train tries. A set of them, if I wanted to superset or variate, I could flip the hands around. I could go overhead like this. I'd probably stick my backside against something. I might even remove these spotter arms. Yeah, that's how I'd perform these movements. If I wanted a tricep rope, that's how I'd do it. Again, I want to turn around, I can do it turning around. I can also do pullovers. One thing I like about this machine is it has a nice big platform. So I'm not resting my feet like some multi-stations. You got to rest your feet on like some bar on the ground. It's just not very efficient. Whereas with this one, I can row maximum weight and have stability. Personally, if I'm doing a heavy stack, I'll use this attachment. So you can see, performing it a lot easier now. I could stack this up. I can go relatively deep range. I do have short legs and a long torso, and I can still get a pretty good stretch. Variations, that one-handed, they need to fix that. You heard that noise, the cable's going to rub, that's going to ruin your cable. I wouldn't do that. What I would do though, I'd grab this, and you could do a couple of different things. You could row wide, you could do an inverted grip like that. You do a supinated grip. You could do a little rowing one like that, left to right. I'm actually getting like almost like cramping in my lats from that. I actually like that movement. Just the other thing you could do, if on a tricep rope, you could do some kind of like face pull variation, sort of like that. So yeah, the spotter arms are a little tacky, don't look too strong. If I kicked it as hard as I can, I don't know whether it would withstand it. Certainly multiple kicks, I dare say I could probably break it, but it is rated to about 140 kg. Today, I'm not going to use them. I'm only going to be using the Smith machine bar. It's a review of the product. It's not a review of barbell lifts or anything like that, but I'm going to perform a few lifts with the Smith machine barbell. As I previously mentioned, the bearing system is actually really good in this. The other thing I'm noticing about it, big bar, it's at least 30 mil, probably bigger. And just to give you a comparison, most bars in gyms are like between 24 to 25 is a thinner bar, 28 to 29 is a bigger bar. This is over 30. So I'm going to try a few squats. Maybe I'll do 3 different variations. First just being my regular barbell squat. So I unrack like that. I don't usually squat on a Smith machine. So I'm just going to adjust the footing a little. I'm going to go deep. The spotter arms are in the lowest, they're on, but they're in the lowest setting. Let's see if I can hit depth. Most certainly can, and I've got nearly a foot to spare. I'm just getting adjusted to this angle because generally gravity is, yeah, straight up and down. This angle's throwing me off a bit, but there we go. That's a pretty decent Smith machine. I'm not a fan of the angle, but certainly for a variation, like when people try and work hamstrings and they stand forward, the angle would certainly help that. I'll try that now. The variation, I'm sort of keeping my legs straight and my backside just out behind me like that, and I'm seeing how low I can get. You just saw that also. Anchor, you might want to anchor it with some weights. I just pushed back too far backwards. I don't have this anchored with much weight, but yeah, I pushed it back, so do be careful about that. The other option that I'll be giving you is just a pause. Bit funny, I wouldn't want to be like using all my energy bars and then racking it. I showed you with the bench, it's not the most easy thing to rack, but yeah, it is a Smith machine. It's doing what it's supposed to do. So this rack also comes with this, which is like an arm curl. But if you remove this, it comes straight out, and you can focus on other movements, such as everything but arm curls. Firstly, I'm going to show you leg extension. The other kind of leg extension. Ooh. When you load up this too, you just need enough weight to keep you, and you can do it as a sit-up bench too. I don't do much of this, but that is an option. Let's try it for a leg curl. So this machine, with the leg curl, honestly, most of the movement doesn't feel too badly. Just show my legs. When I get to full range, it honestly feels pretty good, and then I stretch out, but the movement is cut short when it's meant to be the most heavy. See there? I can't even lock out. That's my lockout. That's where I have to stop. So that would sort of deter me from doing much of these exercises, but you know, you may be pretty serious. You just may want something to get you going at home. You can perform lying leg curls at the gym to full range, and you can just do this as an accessory or a variation. All right, to perform arm curls with this, I'm going to put in the preacher pad like so. It's got a pop pin here. I'm going to pop that up, lock it in there. I actually quite like that arm curl. You know why? I can stretch all the way out, lock out, comes in, heaps of tension. As I come out, the tension is past my locked out arm. It's like here, I have to stretch right out. So as long as the bar's enclosed in my wrist, I can get a full range. And yeah, pop my arms pretty efficiently on that part of the machine.